To the June 6th council meeting, and we have several presentations to do. But before we get started, I'd like you all to stand and join us in the flag salute, which will be led by Councilman Tom Howie this evening.
Yes, good evening. Please join us in saluting our great flag. Ready? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Tom.
Yep.
Okay, our first item is the introduction of the 2016 Chino Youth Boxing Foundation Award winners. I'd like to call all the winners up for 2016, as well as the board of directors and the coaches. If you'd all come forward, and then we'll acknowledge each of the boxers individually. Okay, everybody move this way. I know they don't, huh? Okay, first, before I present our surprise to the boxers, I'd like to ask for either the coach or the board president to give us a quick rundown on the program and what these awards mean. We have 3 coaches. And Yolanda, if you would introduce your board members.
Yes, absolutely. I'm Yolanda Holguin, the president for the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation. And we have our coach here, Ray Morales, right here. And we have Abraham. And we have our other coach back here.
Marcos.
Marcos, stay up front, Marcos. Thank you. And for our board of directors, we have, of course, our vice president, Joe Cigaro. And we have Brandon Blanchard, one of our board directors. Are there any other board directors here this evening? No. Okay. And I just wanted to thank the city of Chino. Of course, we had an award ceremony a few weeks ago, and it was very successful. We had a lot of people there. We want to thank a lot of our city councilmen that have attended. Thank you all for being there. Mary Yulo, I don't know what else to say to you, but thank you, thank you, thank you. It would have never been possible. So we want to acknowledge this evening that we're very proud. We're very proud that our boxers have come this far. They have tried very hard to keep their training. Without the coaches, this would not be possible. Without the city of Chino, our officials that I even see in our audience tonight that are here present, that have represented high positions. Thank you, Melissa, for being there also. And I just want to tell you how hard they work. They're there training nonstop. So I want to let you know how important it is. The parents are so important to us. Taking them there, transporting them, getting involved with us, whether it's a fundraiser, cleaning tables, doing barbecues, whatever they need, they are there for their kids. What is behind our kids today, why they have achieved so high, is because the parents make sure that these kids attend their classes, stay in school, and respect the law, and our police officers and our fire department. A lot of them right now are going to the Marines. Some want to become police officers, and some are going to want to become firemen. It is important to keep this organization alive. I want to let Joe Cigar, our vice president, very quickly just tell all of you what we're doing as far as us scheduling of events very quickly, and then we'll go on to the awards.
Okay, we're trying to stay busy and keep our boys involved and girls. We have some really good girl boxers. But August 13th, it's a Sunday, we're going to have our legend show. And if anyone's interested, we're going to be selling the bouts for $100. It's a fundraiser. That is really, really a good show. And you'll see some really good fighting. We have from little ones, we have girls, and we have our older boxers. So if you're a box fan, you would really appreciate something like this. And it's at a very reasonable price. Also, another thing that we want to have is we want to go to some of our businesses in Chino and try to fundraise through them and teach our boxers how to get involved in the community. You know, it's not just about boxing in the sport. They do good there. We want to teach them in school, but we want to open up the box for them. We want them to become aware of how they can become good citizens and become involved. And another thing that I like to bring back to our boxing foundations is the end of a summer barbecue. So many of our kids got to go to the banquets, but compared to the number in membership that we have, many weren't able to attend. So I would like to have an end of the year barbecue here at our NAC Center, where the boxing program is, for all our members and their families, so everyone can enjoy, because they deserve it. They bring their kids, and they work hard. Parents are the ones that guide their kids, and we're really proud that we have so many families in Chino and from other cities also that come all the way to Chino to be in this program. So the city of Chino, thank you very much for all you do, and it's possible for these kids to be involved in those things.
Thank you, and I'll pass it on back to our coach and,
yet.
or Mayor Yulo. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Yolanda. Okay, what I'd like to do is as Yolanda mentioned, they already had their big boxing banquet where we awarded certificates. So what I'd like to do now is acknowledge each student that won Boxer of the Month, and then the 3 special awards, and we're giving them backpacks full of goodies from the city. So I want all of you on camera, so I need you to crowd in. Come on. Ray, you have to stay in the front, otherwise they won't be able to see you. Let's have all the short ones in front and the taller ones in back, because we want everybody to be able to sing. Okay, you'll notice there's girls and boys. I'll tell you what, as a parent, I wish my daughter had been in the Boxing Booster program. I'll tell you what, especially when she started dating, right? Ray, I'd like you to explain very briefly what the Boxer of the Month means, and then I'll acknowledge each one.
Okay. Well, basically, the Boxer of the Month is recognition that we give out to not just the boxer. We understand the title is boxer, but it's really of the individual, what their accomplishments that month were. Some of the kids that do not compete, but they're in, day out in the gym. They participate, positive attitude, doing good in school. So we like to recognize them. Also, some of them who have competed. But Boxer of the Month, you know, we got so many kids that it's really, really difficult for the coaches that, who do you give it to, really, you know?
How many are enrolled in the program?
We average about 70 participants a day, and which is good. That's really good for the community. So that's what we have Boxer of the Month for, just a, recognition, give them something to take back to their home and school, and their friends come and they want to get recognized, such as them also. So
Okay, so now we're going to recognize the January Boxer of the Month, which is Ivan Ruiz.
Ivan is not here today.
Of course he isn't. The very first one.
I get a backpack.
February is Giovanni Correa Tapia.
Gio. He's right here.
Oh, you're right there. Well, you're supposed to come here.
Come on up front, man.
Congratulations. Oh, wrong one. I'm nervous. Okay, March, Alex Chea Ramirez.
Alex not here. Yeah.
Okay.
I get another one. I get 2 now.
June is Albert Castro Salgado.
Albert.
You're welcome.
He's also our scholarship recipient.
Don't tell him yet. That's
Oh, sorry.
it.
He knew already.
Over here.
He already knew. Never mind.
Never mind. July, Isaac Martinez. Smile, Isaac. It won't hurt.
There you go.
Congratulations. August is Casey Rosales. Congratulations, Casey. September, Vincent Salgado. Smiley. Congratulations. October, Alex Fernandez.
Alex not here. I got another one. I got one for Coach AB.
November is Jorge Medina.
He's not here. We got one for Coach Mark.
Good heavens.
Got you, Mark.
December is Yahir Matamoros. Moros. That's a difficult name. It's almost as hard as mine. Congratulations. Okay, now the 3 special awards. There was Sportsmanship Award. You want to briefly say what that is?
Basically, the Sportsmanship Award is an individual that is competing, and he goes with us to all the tournaments and local shows, and doesn't mean whether you win or lose. A lot of times he's unable to get a bout due to whatever, matches, weight, whatever the case may be. But he shows up on Monday, trains again hard for next competition, so he doesn't give up. Okay, so he's always there. And also, he shows the sportsmanship after he competes. Okay, like we tell him, they're not there as your friend in the ring, but outside they're your friends, and that shows a lot. So we awarded him with the Sportsmanship Award.
And that's Raul
Raul
Yepes Jr.
Yepes.
Congratulations. And the most improved boxer.
Most improved boxer, basically shows dedication, hard work, work ethics in the gym, not only in the ring but outside of the ring. Integrity, also, okay, loyalty, assist us with whatever we need in the gym. She assists with the new members and what have you. So also when she competes, she's shown that she has improved from here, this level to that level, and she was well-deserved this award, so we gave it to Eileen. She's one of our female boxers.
Eileen Herrera. And the Boxer of the Year.
And the Boxer of the Year is Rudolfo Estrada, but he's not here today. One of the reasons we awarded him the Boxer of the Year is because, number one, his work ethics. Number two, the way he presents himself all times in the gym, in and out of the ring. And number three, his school. And he's also a soccer player that is well established in the community, not only here, but throughout Southern California. So his work ethics follow him wherever he goes. And his competition, he's proven himself. So we awarded him with Boxer of the Year. So I'm pretty sure he's playing soccer right now, so he couldn't attend.
Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome.
I have to tell you, these young men and women are so impressive. These are our leaders, for our next generation. They're polite, they're kind, they're considerate, and they've learned so much for being in the Boxing Foundation. I'm proud of all of you. I'm very, very proud of all of you. You're all very, very good young men and women, and I just can't say enough about the program and about each of you individually. You are going to go on in your careers or in school and do great things. I know you are. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you, parents, for being involved in your kids' lives. Thank you so much for the coaches and the board. It really means a lot to our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now they don't want to leave the camera. Next, we have a very special young man to bring up. This young man we're giving him a certificate of recognition for being accepted into the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. I'd like to call up Sebastian Houng. Sebastian, this is a certificate of congratulations and recognition of your outstanding achievements and hard work, which has led to your acceptance to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, presented this day by myself and the council. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you were accepted into West Point.
Well, I guess I'll have to bore you guys with my life story real quick.
Not the whole story.
Well, I guess first thing, my name is Sebastian Houng. I guess I've done a lot of the things in the community, joined a lot of clubs. For sports, I play water polo, I run track. For volunteering and something sort of similar to military, I was in the Police Explorer program here. post 211. I think that was one of the greatest things that I've ever done, and if any of you guys want to join, once you're 14, go on over to the police station Tuesdays. I guess that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sebastian. We're so proud of you, and thank you for coming this evening. And our next is the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for June 2017. The winner this month is Jerry Haynen, and he lives at 1226 Abakali Avenue. Now, I understand he was not able to be here this evening. Oh, you are here. Please come up. You and your wife, family, whoever's here with you. Come up. Terrific. Thought we missed you. First, we have a picture of your beautiful home to give you. Next, we have the Home Beautification Award Certificate. Thank you for continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community.
Thank you.
Then we have a pen, one of our city pens. We'll have to get you another one. We'll get you, so you each have one. And then this is one of our pens. That's a pin. This is a pen. And we'll get you another one of those as well.
Thank you.
And then the crowning glory. This is to put in your yard, should you choose to announce to all of your neighbors.
That's a big one.
It's huge. So if you choose to put that in to announce that you were the winner. Now, who does all of the maintenance?
Gardner and me,
The gardener and you?
Yeah.
And who directs the work to be done?
both of us.
Both of us? Well, thank you so much for your pride and your ownership. And
He does all the work. He's out there every day.
is he? What does the gardener do?
He just mows the lawn.
Just mow, blow, and go. That sounds
I
familiar.
raise sago palms. That's a hobby. I have over 100 in the backyard.
Oh, really? Over 100?
In the backyard,
And then
yeah.
what are you going to do with those sago
I
palms?
give them to my friends and neighbors.
Well,
gives
that's
them away.
nice. That's nice.
We've lived there 40 years.
Oh, well, congratulations. It's a beautiful home.
That one big sago palm in the picture is about 45 years old.
Wow. And you planted it from just a pup?
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, your name will go into the pot, so to speak, for the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for next year. And should you win the overall of the year, then you'll be invited to the State of the City to be our guest. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for being here this evening. Yeah, go ahead. They're going to slip out and ask if it was okay. Okay, thank you all for your patience. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public communication, and this is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that are not listed elsewhere on the agenda. Our first request to speak this evening is Michael Tafoya of Living Word Assembly Church. At this time, I would like to invite anyone who would like to join us to stand in the prayer.
Let's pray. Father, I pray tonight for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials, for the police department and fire department, and in particular for this assembled council. I'm asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amongst the different interests and issues of our times, a sense of welfare and true need of our people, and confidence in what is good and fitting. And God, in the ability to work together in harmony, even where there is honest disagreement. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in our beloved city of Chino. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Tafoya. Okay, now we have a few written requests to speak. There's an announcement of a job fair. Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office.
Well, good evening, Mayor Yalola and council members. Thank you. Supervisor Hagman did ask me to stop by this evening with an announcement. We would like to talk a little bit about the Workforce Development Board. They are having a job fair and do so quite regularly. This particular job fair is going to be taking place at the National Orange Show in the Renaissance Room. Now, this will be in San Bernardino. I know this one's a little far. However, they do have regular job fairs and lots of assistance for employees and employers as well. So hopefully, if you need employees, you can go ahead and look them up online and request assistance. That's a wonderful day when they can make a good partnership. So they ask that you dress for an interview and bring plenty of resumes.
And what date and time?
That would be a very good point, wouldn't it?
It might help.
This would be Thursday, June 22nd,
Okay.
and the time is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And that's at the Orange Show in San Bernardino.
Correct. That would be 689 South E Street in San Bernardino.
Okay, and they can call probably Supervisor
Absolutely.
Hagman's
Superman,
office
yes.
for information.
Absolutely call our office, and there is a lot of information available online. The Workforce Development Board has a wonderful program. However, they don't have a lot of direct advertising avenues, so we like to help promote their services, which are free to county residents. So we like to help them and get the word out.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Melissa. Okay, next we have Mr. Khan. Thanks and an invitation from the Muslim community. I'm not going to try to pronounce the first part. You pronounce it.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council and distinguished fellow citizens. Thank you for this opportunity. I just want to take a few minutes to offer gratitude and also an invitation. So I'm here on behalf of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, who you know very well, at Bait al-Hamid Mosque in Chino. For the knowledge of the citizens, 30 years ago, our mosque broke ground in Chino. It's hard to believe. 30 years ago, I was 10 years old, and I was a resident of Chino at the time. And now, 30 years later, it's home to about 1,100 members, out of which 250 live in Chino and Chino Hills. And, I currently live in Fullerton. I'm a physician in Orange County, but I visit that mosque about 4 times a week on most Fridays and Sundays. My children go there. I went to Sunday school there, as did they. And I just wanted to come here today on behalf of some of the other members of our community and on behalf of Imam Zafrullah Handra, who you know, to offer my thanks to the city of Chino. Chino has been an incredible host for our mosque all of these years, and we're extremely indebted to them. To you yourself, Honorable Mayor, you've attended our mosque's events many times. I remember actually meeting you when I was 10, 11 years old during your first stint. So it's sort of surreal to come back full circle.
Yeah, well, it's surreal for me too.
I bet.
A grown man, and I knew him when he was 10.
I also wanted to acknowledge the Chino Police Department. They've been sincere friends of ours, and San Bernardino Sheriff. I see the Captain Bussard was here today. This is our holy month of Ramadan. As you know, it's a fasting month when Muslims don't eat from sunrise to sunset, and we engage in charitable acts and in prayer. And we go every night. I'm going to be going there shortly after this to break my fast at 8 p.m. But it is a time of uncertainty, as you know, and there's people around the world who are invoking the name of Islam but doing really terrible actions. And it's an embarrassment. But we in the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, as members of the city of Chino, we would like to personally invite all members of Chino to our interfaith iftar dinner, which is this Saturday. You yourself and all of the council members are invited at 7 p.m. We're inviting members of churches, synagogues, Buddhist temples, public officials, and mayors of other cities will be coming to talk about how we build bridges in the community and how we don't divide one another. And there's going to be a scrumptious dinner, and that dinner is on us. I'm serving as a president of the community for the LA East chapter. My fellow president, Mr. Fahim Ahmed, if you don't mind standing, he's the president of the Inland Empire chapter. They're also hosting a dinner event on the 22nd. So there's 2 events, 2 dinners, free on us for everybody to come to. So I just wanted to humbly make that invitation in the record for everybody. And I brought invitations, which, if you allow, I can leave with the city clerk.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Please do. Well, thank you very much for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Ed Lai. subject Measure H.
Good evening, Mayor Ulloa and council members. My name is Ed Lai. I live at 5531 Adams Street. I've lived there since 1974, seems like a long time, over 40 years. But maybe not for much longer if Measure H passes. Recently, we've received flyers and advertisements from D.R. Horton and Ron Brewer regarding Measure H. And since the city put this on the ballot, I was hoping the city could provide some clarification as to what they're advertising. According to the ballot measure, Measure H will change the zoning from RD1 to mixed densities up to 12 homes per acre. Yet the proponents say Measure H will include 2 new city parks, one with a pool. Will these be city parks? And if yes, will there be public parking? And how large are these parks? I don't know if you want me to go through these as one of it at a time or have some response.
Yes, please just go through your list.
Continue. The proponents say Measure H will reduce traffic congestion at Benson and Philadelphia with turn lanes. It quotes our city planners saying traffic will only get worse without these improvements. Turn lanes already exist at this intersection. So what turn lanes are they referring to? The proponents say Measure H requires the building of drainage infrastructure that will protect residents from future flooding. Wouldn't the drainage improvements be required even if this property were developed at RD1? The ones most impacted by the potential flooding are the Ontario residents on the east side of Benson. And they don't see flooding as a problem. In fact, they overwhelmingly oppose Measure H, and they can't even vote. You can just drive along Benson and see all the no on H signs that there are. Thanks for any clarification you can provide.
Mr. Ballantyne, can those 3 questions be answered by staff?
If I may, we could provide short responses. I would suggest that the city not attempt to respond as to what the developer may have put in a flyer. That is obviously a separate party, and we could not speak as to what the developer may have represented. I believe one of the options is to refer him to city staff in the planning department to provide the details of the proposed project as proposed to the city, but beyond that, on any of the details and advertisements, the city could not speak to that.
So if there's information that's being put out there that is not factual or sounds like something that it isn't, the city cannot clarify that?
The city can certainly provide information as to what the application was and the details of that came to the city, as well as how it was presented to the public. But obviously, if the developer is making representations, we couldn't speak to that. We could just provide what the city knows about the project based on the applications that were received.
Okay,
Well-
then I would ask that the size of the proposed parks be stated, what additional turn lanes will be put in, and when is the proposed storm drain to be constructed. I think those are all factual pieces of information that the city owes to the public. Perhaps Nick Liguori can clarify
And I don't know,
that.
I mean, I don't have necessarily that information in front of me, so, I mean, I certainly can provide a report back to the council
Okay,
with that information and to Mr. Lana.
okay. I would request that we do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mayor Ulloa, I feel that the neighborhood, or the city, the community, wouldn't be in this predicament had the city council not put this on the ballot. So I feel the city has an obligation to tell its citizens what's factual in Measure H. We wouldn't be voting on it had the city council not put this on the ballot. And I think that any yes votes that may result could be tainted.
I understand. I understand your concerns.
Thank you.
I share your concerns. Next written request to speak is Dorothy Pineda.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. My name is Dorothy Pineda. I live at 5606 Francis Avenue. I am here to speak a little bit about Measure H. First of all, I'd like to say that I live very close to the proposed project that will affect my home and lifestyle. There's two flyers here that one of them was just briefly spoken about. I'd like to say that, first of all, I want everybody to look at my shirt. We are Protect Chino. I like to let the community, the voters in Chino, to not be fooled by these flyers. One of them says, supportchino.com. That's the developer. The other one says, on the bottom, by law, it says, support Chino. Developer again. We are Protect Chino. We are the voice of the community. We are the people that are fighting this project because basically the developer wants to change an existing zone that for our semi-rural. We don't want urbanization, not only because it's in the wrong place, it doesn't fit. So that's all I'm going to say for right now. I would have a request, and I'm not quite sure if the city of Chino, when they send out the utility bill, but I would request if they could send out a reminder to voters in Chino to remind them that there's an election July 11th on this measure. And whether you're for it or not, I encourage voters to visit our website, which is Chino Protect, okay? Capitalize Chino Protect. You can also go to Protect Chino on the web to get more information and the truth. And I guess that's it for now, and I thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. Okay, those are all the written requests to speak. Are there any other members in the audience that would like to say anything? Yes, sir, come forward. And if you'd give us your name, please.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council, community members and staff. My name is Victor Sanchez, and I'm with Salem Christian Homes. I apologize for being late and not being able to enter the card. I'm here today to just invite the City Council and the members of the community to our 9th annual Run, Walk, and Roll 5K for Individualism. As some of you may know, Salem Christian Homes is a organization that moved here into town in 1969. We have 8 residential homes that provide housing for people with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. In Chino, we have 9 in Ontario, 1 in Upland, and 1 in Lakewood, California. And we're having this event to promote, again, individualism for individuals with special disabilities, as well as anyone who'd like to express their own individuality. We are going to be located in a new location for this 5K. We've been able to partner up with Boys Republic. The date is Saturday, July 15th, and the races will start at 8 a.m. If I may, Mayor, I would like to leave some of these flyers for the council.
Yes, please do. Provide them to our city clerk, and she'll pass them out.
And that'd be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanchez. Anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on any item that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. These items will be taken as a whole unless a member of the public or the council wishes to have any item pulled. Are there any requests to pull an item? No? Then a motion would be appropriate. Yes, sir? Oh, okay, sure. Go ahead. Come on up.
So my name is Matthew, and even though I don't live in the area where H is being affected right now, I do happen to believe it's still very much an issue for my city, and I'm up here spontaneously, so I'm not gonna have anything memorized by head. But I've been in this city for 27 years, and I think I've seen, though, enough development, and I don't think there's enough to influence anyone in the city that anything that could be pushed here for either business or a better way of life could be done by some kind of corporate company coming in and fix it all. I think that's something that the city could be doing on its own and not relying on a business to help out with. I think if it happens to be affecting the majority of lives right there, that's the overall, I think, you know, people that you got to take, into consideration who it's going to be affecting. I don't think dollars or anything. For this, you don't have a price on it. It's people's lives, that are going to be affected. The way the city looks, everything, its history. Those things, you can't put a price on it. And hopefully it could just remain the same. I mean, I've lived down next to College Park area. And I used to live down there when it was just cows and everything. That was the best time of my life. Now I'm not even going to be able to, within probably 10 years, ever even be able to see Chino Hills. It's just all destroyed with homes. And for every home now being over 500,000 or so, it's crazy. I'm happy with right now to see where Chino's gone to a certain direction, but I think enough is enough, So that's all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, we'll continue on with the consent calendar. There's a motion from Councilman Elrod, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie. And the item passes 4 yes. We have one open seat. That must be Mr. Duncan's seat. Okay, next item on the agenda is under new business, item number 11, Landscape and Streetlight Maintenance District Assessment for fiscal year 2017-18. Our staff report this evening will be provided by our Assistant City Manager, Public Works Director, Mr. Jose Aleri.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. The city has formed 6 lighting and landscape districts under the 1972 Act of the California Streets and Highway Code. Each year, the city council reviews these districts and holds a public hearing to set the assessment rates. The District 2002-1 has a CPI escalator that allows the city to adjust these rates in this district. This year, that CPI is 2.11%, which results in a slight increase for the district. Now, over the years, the general fund has been subsidizing the lighting and landscape districts. Last year, for example, the subsidy was projected to be $324,762, but it actually came in at $240,177, and that's due to the tight management of Mr. Kurt Powell and Bob Botus in our Public Works Services Division. They do work very hard and try to control those costs. Now, the projected subsidy for fiscal year 17-18 is $236,925, and we're hoping that we won't get to that point. One of the things we're doing in this year for this fiscal year 17-18 is certain zones that are listed in Exhibit 1 of the report have an increase of approximately 5%, and this is because these zones have not been assessed their maximum rate as to when they were annexed into the districts. So that's going to help us, not to get to that $236,000 subsidy. Lastly, I just want to mention that also included in our fiscal year 17-18 budget is funding to move forward with a Proposition 218 for property owners on these districts to vote on a rate increase to recover the cost for the services that we're providing for these districts. Again, to make sure that we cover the cost and work on that subsidy number. And if that passes, we'll make some progress on that as well. So with that, staff recommends the City Council adopt Resolution 2017-25, directing staff to file the annual report for the districts, adopt Resolution 2017-026, approving the engineer's report, adopt Resolution 2017-027, declaring the intention to order the improvements for all of these districts, and schedule a public hearing for July 18th, 2017. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have on this item.
Thank you, Mr. O'Leary. Prior to questions of staff, is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this particular item? It's not a public hearing, but we will take input. Okay, seeing none. Any questions of staff? No. Then a motion would be appropriate. There's a motion from Councilman Elrod, a second from Councilman George, and the item passes 4 yes, with 1 seat being vacant. Next item on the agenda is item number 12, Council Member Vacancy District 1. This item is to discuss and direct our staff on filling the Council Member District 1 vacancy. Staff report by our City Manager, Mr. Matt Ballantyne.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. On June 4th, Councilmember Glenn Duncan retired and submitted his resignation, creating a vacancy on the City Council. The council has 2 options to fill this vacancy. One is to appoint an individual,
or the second is to host an election. If an appointment is made, staff has outlined the timing, the timing in the staff report, and if I can go over that real quick, we would post on our website tomorrow that we're opening this up to receive applications. We would close the application process June 21st, so everybody would have to submit their applications by June 21st. In the staff report, it notes that on June 27th, we would hold interviews. However, one of the council members has a conflict, so we're recommending that be changed to July 12th. And then we would seek to make an appointment July 18th of 2017. And according to the government code, we need to actually make the appointment by August 3rd. Otherwise, we are obligated to move forward with an election. If the council decides to call an election, it will take place in November of 2017, and the successful individual will serve until November of 2020. If we do an appointment, that individual will serve till November of 2018, which is the next general election. And finally, it's important to note that whether it's an election or an appointment, this individual needs to come from District 1, which is in the northwest portion of the city of Chino. With that, I'll entertain any questions. Otherwise, staff seeks the direction of the council.
Okay, prior to questions or comments, I'd like to ask if there's anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item. Okay, seeing none. Questions or comments? Mr. George, did you have a comment?
Just the cost of an election doesn't seem warranted here. I think that my recommendation would be for the appointment. We just saved the city over $200,000. Why?
Who do we appoint?
That's not where I was going with that. But
Well, staff report does show that a special election would cost the city approximately $100,000
Okay.
versus an appointment, and then it would be part of the replacement would be part of the 2018 regular election period.
Anyway, I'm for the appointment.
Any other comments?
I'm with an appointment, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Then
Also me too.
Then a motion would be appropriate, please.
So moved.
Second.
Do your little
Oh,
thingies.
okay. We can do that.
Okay, motion from Councilman, well, the record shows, motion by Councilman George, second by Mayor Pro Tem Howie. And this item does pass 4 yes with 1 vacancy. So the item will be notified tomorrow, and applicants will have until June 21st at 5:30 to get your applications in, and it is only for residents in District 1. As you heard Mr. Ballantyne say, an interview will be held July 12th, and then the appointment will be made on July 18th. Okay, next on the agenda is mayor and council reports. And where's my paper? First item is item number 13, which is the Community Services Commission appointments. I would like to ask, and I would move that we ratify the appointment of Jamie Harwood and recognize the Chino Valley Unified School District's appointments of Kevin Cisneros and Robert Basil to the Community Services. So it's been moved by myself, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Howie, and the item passes 4 with 1 absent or 1 vacancy. So I would like to call Kevin and Robert, all of them, Kevin and Robert, up to be sworn in. And Jamie. Limping.
Uh-oh.
What did you do? Running. Oh, my goodness sake.
From who?
You need to stay on that bicycle instead of participating.
Kevin Cisneros. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Three of you. Would any of the three of you like to make any comments? Kevin?
That was quick and sweet.
I'll say that it is a great
Want to go to the lectern?
honor to serve our city as a City of Chino Community Services Commissioner. I've had the opportunity to serve 2 terms, and I'm honored to be appointed by the school district for a 3rd term, and to be able to serve with Jamie and the other commissioners is really a great experience for me. We have the opportunity to serve our city, our teenagers, our children, and our seniors by ensuring that our parks are in great condition, that our events and everything that we host here in the city of Chino are just first class. I think that we do a great job with that. So I want to thank the mayor and the city council for all that you do and allowing us to support you, and the school board as well. And thank you to the citizens. And additionally, I just want to remind everybody, 4th of July is coming up. Remember that fireworks is a privilege, not a right, and that we want to just stick to those safe and sane fireworks. With that, thank you all, and it's a great honor. Thank you.
I knew you couldn't pass
Yeah,
up
you
the
couldn't pass it up.
Kevin is also the MC of the Relay for Life, and he does a really, really great job, but I knew he couldn't pass up the microphone. Anyway, congratulations to the three of you. I know that you're going to do a fantastic job. Okay. Next, the summer concerts, or summer's upon us, so keep in mind some of our outstanding events, including the Chino Koana Summer Concerts on the Lawn, which is every Thursday at 7 o'clock on our City Hall lawn, starting June 15th and ending July 20th. Chino Summer Night Movies every Friday at 6:30, again on the City Hall lawn, starting at June 16th and ending July 21st. For more information, please call our Community Services Department at 909-334-3338. And lastly, please mark your calendar for Glenn Duncan's retirement party on June 15th at 11:30 at the Chaffey College Chino Community Center. Tickets are $25 and can be purchased online at http://glennduncan.eventbrite.com. This will be a great chance for our community to extend congratulations and thank you for his number of years of service to our great city. For more information, please call 909-334-3301. Then between the last council meeting and tonight, I did attend Monday, May 29th, American Legion Memorial Day commemoration at the community building at 10th and B. It was really well attended. Every year more people end up going to it. Our city council was there and many of our dignitaries, and it was just a very, very touching ceremony. I think it's really nice that more young people are showing up for the event. It's very, very important that we honor our heroes of the past and also the ones that are serving today in the military. It's thankfully for them, we have the freedoms that we have today. Captain Keith Bassard made an absolutely excellent speech, as he does every year. I just can't say enough about his ability to touch people's hearts with his stories and his memories. So Keith, thank you very much. You did a fantastic job. Wednesday, May 31st was our State of the City address, and I've been told it's the first time we've ever sold out. It was fantastic. I want to thank staff, congratulate them, and thank them for all the wonderful work that they did in setting it up, the video company that did the video. I think it turned out really well. Council members, you did an excellent job in speaking your heart about the Chino way. We honored Walt and Dee Pocock as the Spirit of Achievement Award winners, and that was difficult for me. It was really difficult. We lost Dee last year, and it was hard. It was wonderful, but it was hard seeing her pictures and remembering her, and I just wish she could have been there. Anyway, thank you to the community for coming out. Thanks to all the sponsors. It was really overwhelming. And then Thursday, June 1st, I was able to provide the welcome to the ABA Health to Wealth Expo that was held at the Chaffey College Community Center. Friday, June 2nd, was the BIA Economic Summit Conference. Councilman George attended as well, and he'll probably have quite a bit to add to this. But of course, their discussion was shortage housing. In California, they're predicting there's going to be like 70,000 units short, which is rather interesting. Of course, they emphasize the economic impact on the community from the construction jobs, which is true. But I find it really interesting that the items that are not discussed, especially when they're emphasizing affordable housing, which I don't know how anybody can say that housing in our community is affordable. So we have a mixed blessing of being the kind of community that people want to move to, therefore the housing prices are going up. If we are a community where people did not want to live, we would have truly affordable housing. But because it's nice community, the prices are high. Anyway, they talk about building affordable homes, but they don't talk about the influx of foreign country investors who are massively buying up homes for cash, sometimes more than market value, which puts us, the residents here, out of the market. And then, of course, the homes are turned around and turned into rentals. So it's very hard for a resident of this area or another area who wants to move to Chino to compete with cash coming in, sometimes more than market value. So they don't talk about that. They also don't talk about once the build-out happens, all those people that were employed by construction, where do they go? And so for me, it's more important to make the jobs come to Chino, to ensure people are employed, rather than do it the opposite way and have more people move in, unemployment go up, and we don't have the job base to offer. Also, when you work outside of this area and live here, of course, it adds to traffic congestion. So the BIA also always requests that fees be lowered or delayed so that they don't have to pay their fees until after homes are built. They don't want to pay for the impact of their development, the impacts that development creates on a community. They ask that those fees be lowered. What they don't address is who's going to make that up? Who's going to pay that price for new development? We on this council for years and years and years have taken the position that new development will pay its own way, that our current residents will not be burdened with the cost of new development. And the BIA wants those fees to be lowered or waived or postponed. And so it's a dilemma. Of course, we want jobs created, but at the same time, not at the expense of our community. And again, what do we do when there's build out and all these people that were employed by the construction no longer have their jobs? So anyway, enough of that, get off my soapbox. And I am proud to say that we have 2 grandchildren who graduated this last week. Our granddaughter, Caitlin Lewis, graduated from the University of Texas at Austin, which, of course, those are the Longhorns. Well, as you know, my husband is an avid Trojan fan, right? And the Longhorns and the Trojans have this historical competition. So Bob and Caitlin go back and forth about teasing each other. And Ian, of course, Ian Yaloa, who was here at the other council meeting, he graduated from Ontario Christian High, and he's off to Cornell in sometime in August, and we're so very proud of him. I don't know how a Southern California-born boy is going to exist in New York, though, come wintertime. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, that's all I have this evening. Next, I'll call on Mayor Pro Tem Howie.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items here, and I can't believe it, but the LA County Fair, Chino Day at the Fair, is coming up. It's right around the corner. It's going to be here September 20th, so mark your calendars. Wednesday, September 20th will be Chino Day at the Fair. I attended a meeting a couple weeks ago, and they're going to have a lot of new exciting things at the fair, as they always do. And also, we're going to be selling. I have a coupon for an $8 admission on Wednesday, September 20th. $5 of the $8. The normal cost is $20 to go to the fair. $5 will go to the Yellow Bus Program, and that's my first item on here is a request for a contribution to the Yellow Bus Program from our funds. Last year, we had 6,000, a little over 6,500 kids from the Chino schools go to the fair. And a lot of these kids can't afford to go to the fair or never been to the fair, but they have an opportunity to go. They're bused there, and they have a great experience at the fair. So I'm asking that $2,000 is contributed from my support contribution.
And that is item number 14 on the agenda. So a motion would be appropriate.
Moved.
Okay. Got it?
He had to do it on the little machine.
Oh,
There's
I
a
did.
motion from Councilman George, second by Mayor Pro Tem Howie, and the item passes for yes, one vacancy.
Thank you very much on that. And just I attended the L&L Wood Products 50th anniversary party, and it's hard to believe, you know, you go right by them on Schaefer Avenue, but that's a pretty good-sized facility, L&L. And boy, have they got molding and crown molding and doors and everything. In fact, we just got some new doors from a contractor, and I think they came from L&L Wood. But they're very nice people, and they always are part of our corporate challenge. They're really good community partners for us. The shopping center convention I attended from the 21st to the 23rd, and we had a big booth, and we had a lot of people coming to the booth talking about different possibilities of coming to Chino. So it was a productive meeting from that standpoint. I'm sure you'll be talking about it too, Gary. State of the City Mayor did a great job. State of the City was well attended, and it made us proud of Chino. There's no question about that. And we also attended the Chino Hills State of the City the next day, and they always do a great job. You know, they're very proud of their city, and rightly so. But their video ran much longer than our video did, so I had to kid them a little bit about that. And then last but not least, we attended the Kaiser grand opening yesterday of the new Kaiser facility on Roswell Avenue, and wow. That is a state-of-the-art new medical center right where the old Kokurian Theater. In fact, I was sitting there, I was standing there, I was thinking I used to sit there and watch movies, and now I could go in there and sit in there.
Get a shot.
To get a shot or something. But yeah, but that is they said this is the first facility that they've ever built from the ground up as their own medical office. You know, usually they'll rent a building or something, but their architects designed this thing. And it is a whole new experience. I mean, there's not a reception area. You go in, a concierge comes out, takes your time. You can make an appointment from home. They have a kiosk there, you're like at the airport where you can go on and plug in your name. They have vision there. They have a pharmacy there. Every room has a chair. You go in, you sit in the chair. They can weigh you in the chair. They have a big screen. They can bring up all your records electronically. It's a whole new way of providing medical service. So it'll be interesting to see how people really like it. It was good. What's that? It's just a clinic. I think Ontario is the closest, and of course Fontana is the real big one. But it's just a medical office. And that concludes my comments.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Howery. Next we have Mr. Elrod.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to congratulate you on your big party. It was well attended, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I like the way the video was done this year, a little differently, so I really enjoyed that. Is anybody here from staff that could tell me how many chairs were set up for Memorial Day? Yeah. 150. We could use 300 probably. So it's every year it gets better and better, and I want to thank staff. The flagpole worked today, that day. Usually you got 3 kids hanging on it trying to get it going up. Yeah, but I know they did a great job on that. And then I also attended the Kaiser Hospital, and I think Tom's going to hang out there on the weekends. They got a banquet room and stuff. So, he was very present. It's not too far from his house. So
You could just walk there.
Yeah, you just go down there, have coffee, and talk to the docs.
Oh, my goodness.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman George.
Thank you, Mayor. I have some recommendations on item 15 on the Community Support Fund. And I would appreciate approval of the following community support contributions to be expended by the Community Support Program. I would like to have $250 for the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation, You saw the, some of the boxers here this evening, and the event that we attended there was phenomenal. And it's a great organization, and I'd like to see that go there. $500 to the Chino Youth Museum, $500 to the Chino Police Department for their Mentoring Alliance of Police and Students program, their MAPS program, and $500 to the LA County Fair Big Yellow Bus program, because Tom and I are both on that committee, and that's, see the rest of it go there. So,
Okay, do you want to move the item?
like,
Okay, there's a motion from Councilman George, second by Councilman Elrod, and the item passes 4 yes, 1 vacant. Thank you very much. Anything else?
yes. The, I'll go through this as fast as possible. Earl, just you sit down, relax for a little bit.
Would you set the timer, please?
How much time do I have?
2 minutes.
I didn't mention some of these at the last council meeting because the focus was on Glenn Duncan, and I wanted to make sure that the focus stayed there. I attended the SCAG conference in May, and in Palm Desert, and it was a great conference. My first one, obviously. Great speakers, great breakout sessions. The the theme for that seemed to be smart cities, and data mapping and mapping data. So even though it was kind of mentioned in the paper, maybe we didn't know what we were talking about for data management, data mapping. We do know what we're talking about on that, and that was part of the presentation there. Supervisor Hagman did a presentation, one of the breakouts, and did a fantastic job. Speaking of Supervisor Hagman, attended a reception at the Chino Airport that he put on. And then, of course, the first air show. I mean, I live fairly close to the airport, and they fly over every May all the time. I mean, in May all the time anyway. But this was, I didn't realize how much went into this air show. It was absolutely, it was phenomenal. It was blown away, literally almost. Let's see, went to the Cultural Foundation meeting, Majestic Project review meeting, CIM and CIW state project meeting. The Chino, on the 11th, the Chino PD Memorial event, which was a phenomenal event also. And I'll mention this at the same time as the Memorial Day event on the 29th, because Chief Comstock spoke at the Memorial event on the 11th. Phenomenal speech on remembering the fallen officers, and Captain Broussard, a phenomenal presentation at the American Legion Memorial event also. The budget, on the 11th, the budget workshop. On the 18th, went to the L&L 50-year event, and as with Mayor Pro Tem Howie, I think every stick of wood in my house came from L&L, because I remember loading it on top of my car and driving it down, probably illegally driving it down the street, back to the house. And then the ICSC, International Council of Shopping Centers and Real Estate Convention in Las Vegas at the convention center. That's obviously my first one there. It gives new meaning to the phrase "working the room." And I'm used to working the room, but not when there's the entire convention center is filled with vendors, including our own booth and City of Ontario's, and it's unbelievable. And we did have a great number of people come to our booth and present to us, and then we presented to some of the people who were there. It's a phenomenal event. I think I may take a different pair of shoes next time, because I don't think I realized how much walking was going to be, but it was a phenomenal event. I attended the Chino High School graduation at the Citizens Business Bank Arena, and great job there. That's the first time I've attended one that was like at the arena rather than at the school itself, and it's really, really well done. And it's just mixed emotions on not being in the on the football field or whatever, watching it, but it was a great event. The school district did a phenomenal job on that. The State of the City, great job. It was really well done. Thanks to the staff and everybody for putting that together. Phenomenal job as usual. My granddaughters sixth grade promotion from Rhodes Elementary. She'll be going to Magnolia. And then the Chino Hill State of the City. This has been talked about, but one of the things that I enjoyed a lot was the fact that they talked about how fast they decided they wanted to become a city, because they said Chino was eyeing annexing them to the into Chino. They said we better move fast so we can have our own city. And they pointed out Tom and I and said, we had to beat you guys. Yeah, that's right. And then as the mayor talked about with the BIA Housing Policy Conference, that was really a lot of information, and it was really well done. Also, the couple of the things that they talked about that was kind of scary is the net zero,
Mm-hmm.
net zero, where you pretty soon whatever amount of power or electricity or utility goes into a home has to be netted out with whatever, what comes out. And it's just, it's kind of a scary thought because it's a good idea, but it's not, I'm not sure if they've got it all together yet.
Technology doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, so there's a date, but it's like another unfunded mandate. It's just, so that'll be interesting. And then one of the other things that I found interesting with, when Lennar was talking was, and Mary Lou and I were kicking this around, one of the homes that they've got, like in College Park, is the home within a home, which is a great idea. It's the same idea as the old, the idea of the old mother-in-law house on your property. But this is a home right inside the other home. But they're on that project is on hiatus. It's because it's being used as a rental instead of what what it was intended for. So it's kind of scary. And then the Kaiser Permanetti grand opening the other evening, and that's it.
Yep, a lot going on. Yeah, the next gen, the interesting thing about that is the concept is really nice, especially if you have an elderly person living with you or, even a grown child who's maybe going to college or whatever. But reality is, in another community very close to us, is they found that people were renting those units out. So it was actually, and so what they did, this other community was banned, next gen. They can't build any more of them. Yeah, Gary?
I'm sorry, just one more item. I would just like to thank Ramon Ray Ponce, the Chino's blind balladeer, for joining us here this evening. I'm sure you've seen him around town. He's got a great voice and has overcome, obviously, some major difficulties to be where he is. And Ray, thank you for coming this evening. Appreciate it.
Okay, city manager's report, Mr. Valentine.
I have no report, Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Galante.
I have no report. Thank you, Mayor.
And Chief Constock isn't here, so Captain Bissard. Oh, all right. Which one? No report this evening. Okay, Captain Simmons. Chief Shackelford.
Mayor Lowe and Council, good evening. Just a brief report from the Fire District. Pleased to share with you that last Tuesday the Fire District grew a little bit. We started 9 new firefighter paramedics with us. They are going through some training now, and in the coming weeks you will see them out serving our community.
Perfect. Maybe you can bring them to a council meeting and introduce them.
Absolutely. The moment that you had earlier this evening with the speaker that met you as a child, I had a similar experience with one of our firefighters. He was actually born after I started with the Fire District in 1991. So it made me feel a little older than I did prior to meeting him.
I know, it's bizarre. When I was elected in November of 1984, my daughter was born the next year. And now she's, 34 years old and has 3 kids. And I was here and she wasn't even born yet. So.
You were mayor when I started with the Fire District. I do have to say you look the same as you did when I started 25 years ago.
Oh, you are too kind. I only wish that was true.
That concludes my report. Good evening.
Wow, yeah. Thank you very much. Oh. Well, thank you all for coming this evening, and with that, we will adjourn to our next regular meeting that will be held on Tuesday, June 20th at 7. If we need closed session, it will start at 6. Thank you very much, and good evening.